All right, welcome back to No Filter MMA. Guys, this, of course, is your boy BJ back with another live stream, guys. All right, what an exciting and eventful week. What an exciting and eventful week this has been, guys. It is fight week. A lot of fights going on this week. Guys. So I'm only going to talk about a few of them here. And of course, some things I need to talk about here live on the channel. So I can correct a few things. But we made it to fight week, guys. Two big important fights this week. Actually, three big important fights this week. You got the championship fight over at Bellator. You got Sinead Kavanaugh versus Chris Cyborg. That fight is actually going down for the title. I'm excited to see that fight. As far as Sinead Kavanaugh is concerned, big, powerful featherweight. As far as Sinead Kavanaugh is, concerned, she's just going to have to find a way to win. Sinead does a lot of things well, but I think it's going to be similar to that Arlene Blencowe fight, to where just over time, Cyborg's just going to wear her down. Will she stay in there like Leslie Smith? I don't really know. I don't know if Sinead Kavanaugh will stay in there like Leslie Smith did, because Leslie Smith is really like the only person over at Bellator to really like be in there with Chris Cyborg. Yes, she got finished late in the fight, but really, she's the only one to really be in there with Chris Cyborg like that. You know what I'm saying? As crazy as that sounds, you know what I'm saying? Leslie Smith, if I'm not mistaken, used to be a flyweight back in the day. Maybe not Leslie Smith. Maybe I'm mistaken when I say that. But Leslie Smith was in there with Chris Cyborg during that fight. You know what I'm saying? She was in that fight. She got, like I said, she got finished, and the pressure and the volume and the power of Chris Cyborg, it wore on Leslie Smith throughout the course of the fight. So, eventually she went down, but will Sinead Kavanaugh be in there with Chris like Leslie Smith was? I'm not exactly sure, but I'm expecting Chris to really be dominant, man. I'm expecting Chris Cyborg to be dominant. I thought Arlene Blencowe would get off some of those, would potentially hurt Cyborg in there when Arlene was in there, because Arlene Blencowe, man, she put Diana Silva out. You know what I'm saying? She's got that kind of power. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's got the power to pop girls like that. And I was expecting to see her do it, and she just wasn't able to get anything really off. You know what I'm saying? Like, she wasn't really able to get it off. It was a good fight, but she just really wasn't able to get it off, and she was being dominated on the ground by Chris Cyborg. You know what I'm saying? So if Chris Cyborg decides to take this fight to the ground, I just see Cyborg dominating. I see Cyborg dominating Sinead Kavanaugh for sure. Big week for Bellator. You also have, let me see here. I'm trying to go back. There's some more WMMA fights happening on this card too. Let me look them up real quick. I didn't get a chance to fully look over that card. I know Valerie Loretta is fighting. Let's see, we're looking at Sinead Kavanaugh. I don't know how to spell. Let me see. Let me look at this card here. Now I can just get a refreshment on the card. Pam Sorensen, Bruna Ellen, Desiree Yanez is happening. I forgot about that. And Valerie Loretta Taylor Turner. That's gonna be a good fight. So yeah, so a couple of WMMA fights happening on this card, on this Bellator card. I'm excited to see it happen. See what Pam Sorensen can do. It's fight week for our girl Pam Sorensen. This fight with Arlene Blencowe, it's going to be good. It's really going to be good, guys. And Pam Sorensen, I really think Pam Sorensen can do well over here at Bellator, guys. I really, really do think that Pam Sorensen can do well over here at Bellator. You know what I'm saying? She's given the right fights. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's fighting these strikers. Thing about Pam Sorensen, I think you have to take Pam down and really beat her, or you have to hurt her on the feet. You know what I'm saying? Felicia Spencer didn't really have so much success playing that role, that striking role with Pam Sorensen. She was getting outstruck, so Fee did a good job of taking this fight to the ground. You know what I'm saying? And submitting Pam Sorensen, coming close to some submissions earlier in the fight, and then finally just wearing Pam down. Mauling her, putting her weight on her, and she wore Pam down and got that submission for the Bellator. I mean, for the Invicta Featherweight Championship. You know what I'm saying? It was a beautiful fight. If you haven't watched that fight, I suggest you definitely go back and watch that fight. And I do feel like Pam Sorensen can do well in Bellator. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a good place for Pam Sorensen. Arlene Blencowe is a good fight for Pam Sorensen. We were kind of calling for that fight. After she beat, after Pam Sorensen beat, what's her name? Roberta Samad. We were all kind of saying, that Arlene Blencowe will be a beautiful fight just because of the striking. You know what I'm saying? They look very similar in how they strike. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's a favorable matchup for both fighters. You know what I'm saying? Versus, when Arlene Blencowe was fighting Chris Cyborg. That fight. What was that? I don't know what that was. Anyways, when Arlene Blencowe was fighting Chris Cyborg, you know what I'm saying? Like, Chris Cyborg kept, any kind of flow that Arlene would somewhat settle into, Chris Cyborg would disrupt it with a takedown. I don't really see Pam going for takedowns like that. I don't really see Arlene Blencowe. I don't really see Arlene Blencowe shooting for takedowns either. But just to make note, Pam Sorensen's takedown defense looked really good in the fight with Roberta Samad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it looked pretty good in that fight. So I'm not mad at Pam Sorensen's takedown defense. So I expect this fight to really take place on the feet. I do. I expect the I expect the Pam Sorensen. Where is it at? I expect the Pam Sorensen and the Arlene Blencowe fight to really be contested on the feet. I see boxing versus Muay Thai. I think Pam's Muay Thai is really good, and she showed it in that fight with Roberta Samad. You know what I'm saying? I think that Arlene will have the reach advantage on Pam. I'm not exactly sure. I got to look at the stats. I'll look at the tail of the tape, see how it looks. But it looks like, we're going to see some hard shots being exchanged, some fast shots being exchanged. I think Pam needs to beware, though, because Arlene Blencowe can knock you out. That's the thing, that's the danger of striking with Arlene Blencowe. Diana Silva was trying to do that, you know what I'm saying? Trying to strike with Arlene Blencowe, man, and it just didn't work out.
That fight was crazy. Excuse me. Justin, glad you made it. Brought you something so thoughtful.
That is an advertisement on ESPN's website playing. What the hell was that? Wow. Let's see. Hold on, guys. I gotta send this out. Let's see. Wait a minute. All right, I'm back. I had to send out a tweet, y'all. I'm telling you, on my Twitter, people be like, yo, you never send out a tweet. Like, you never let us know that you're live, like you never. I'm like, my bad. Listen, I'm sorry. But yeah, Sinead Kavanaugh. I mean, Arlene Blencowe versus Pam Sorensen. Does it determine a title? A fighter fighting for the title? I think so. Now that Julia Budd is gone, like it's just weird to say that Julia Budd is gone from Bellator. You know what I'm saying? But she's in PFL right now, man. You know, like Julia Budd's in PFL, and she got a win over Caitlin Young, which to me was kind of disappointing. Like I was really wanting to see Caitlin Young get that dub in there against Julia Budd, but you always want to cheer for Caitlin Young, but it's just like she comes up short every single time. Like I don't know why it's like that. I don't know why that's like that with Caitlin Young. I don't know what it is. Maybe she's getting older. Like maybe she's not as with it as she used to be. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what it is about Caitlin Young, but you want to cheer for her, but it just comes up short. But it is what it is. I think Pam Sorensen has worked a lot on her grappling, especially with being in this division at Bellator, because you don't want to be surprised by people like Kat Zingano, like Chris Cyborg taking you down. Like you don't want to be surprised by that. You know what I'm saying? You want to be ready for that, especially with Pam. This is it for Pam. You know what I'm saying? Like this is it for Pam Sorensen. Like Pam got to make her mark. Pam got to, she's already got one belt, but she needs that big dog major promotion belt. And as far as 145-pound divisions, this is the best 145-pound division out there. You know what I'm saying? The Bellator 145-pound division is the best. You know what I'm saying? Now, they took a hit with Julia Budd leaving. Like, I get it. Like, I get that. Like, Julia Budd, former champion, you know what I'm saying? Like, fought people like Rousey, fought people like Nunes, you know what I'm saying? Fought Cyborg. She lost to all of them, but Julia Budd held that belt for a long time. She beat Marlos Conan. She beat a lot of people at her run over at Bellator. You know what I'm saying? Like she beat a lot of people, and then she went on to beat Diana Silva, Jessie Mealy. You know what I'm saying? Now she got to win over Caitlin Young. Maybe she's trying to go for that Kayla Harrison. Go for that winner, that $1 million. Like I'm not mad at it. So let's see what she does. Let's see what Julia Budd does. But as far as Pam Sorensen and when she sits, somebody else has to rise as, a threat and somebody who can really challenge for that belt. And as far as like wanting to challenge for the belt, Arlene Blencowe, she wants to get back in there with Chris Cyborg, which I don't blame her. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that Arlene Blencowe can do better than what she did in that fight. I think Arlene Blencowe can do much better than what she did in that fight with Chris Cyborg. I think she can. I think she's a much better fighter than what she showed us. You know what I'm saying? I think that Leslie Smith showed that when you go in there with focus, you can go into the later rounds with Chris Cyborg. It's just what you decide to do, you know what I'm saying, once you get into those later rounds, If it had been Kat, you know what I'm saying, that got Chris Cyborg to, a fourth and fifth round, it's just, I'm crazy to see that. Like, I'm crazy to see, Kat Zingano versus Chris Cyborg. I can't help but think of that fight when you think about these girls fighting in, when you're talking about the Bellator 145-pound division. I can't help and stop myself from thinking, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see Kat Zingano versus Chris Cyborg. That is a fight that is meant to happen. Kat was clamoring for that fight. Hold on, y'all. She was clamoring for that fight when she was in the UFC. Kat said, Leo, let me go up to 45. Like, let me make that jump. Let's do it. And I had to plug my charger up, y'all. And I had heard the scrappy beginnings of that fight, you know what I'm saying, when she was in the UFC, I seen an article that said, Kat Zingano puts her name in the hat. This is at a time where it was hard to find fighters to fight Chris Cyborg when she was in the UFC. So, at that time, an article came out saying, Kat Zingano, she puts her name in the hat to fight Chris Cyborg. And I was thinking, oh, holy shit, like, Kat Zingano putting her name in the hat to fight Chris Cyborg. I want to see that fight happen. But on my channel, You know what I'm saying? In multiple times and in multiple interviews, Pam Sorensen has stated that she wants that fight. Pam Sorensen said, I want that fight. Let me get to where I got to get to so that I can get that fight. You know what I'm saying? She tried to get into the UFC. That didn't happen. We waited and waited and waited and waited on Pam Sorensen for what felt like a long time. What felt like a really, really, really long time. We waited to hear Pam Sorensen getting signed to the UFC. And guys, we never heard it. We never got that call, which that sucks. It really does suck because I would have loved to see Pam Sorensen versus Felicia Spencer 2. Pam Sorensen versus Norma Dumont. Pam Sorensen versus Megan Anderson. Pam Sorensen versus Kat Zingano. Pam Sorensen versus Leah Letson. Like, I was looking forward to all of that. I was looking forward to all of that, but we didn't get that fight. We never got any of those fights because they refused to sign Pam Sorensen. So it is what it is. I gotta add something to this right here. I had to add that on there. I gotta do my girl Leah Letson some justice here. So we are going to move on, guys. Like, let me know who your picks are. My official pick, of course, I got to go with the home slice, Pam Sorensen. But not only because she's the home slice, but I do honestly feel that Pam Sorensen can win this fight. I feel like Pam Sorensen can outstrike Arlene Blencowe. Pam Sorensen can be in there because Pam has showed a new level of striking in the fight with Roberta Samad. You know what I'm saying? Pam was able to get inside, close that distance, you know what I'm saying, and not let Roberta Samad do what she wanted to do, which was fight Pam Sorensen at range, where Pam is at a huge disadvantage at range. Pam is not a long, lengthy featherweight. Pam is actually one of the smallest featherweights out there. You know what I'm saying? She's not very tall. She's not very long. Pam is wide. You know what I'm saying? And not in a bad way, but in just a physical way, she's a wide fighter. Good base, you know what I'm saying? Wide base. You know what I'm saying? Pam, very muscular, very strong, very compact fighter. But when Pam lets those hands go, you know what I'm saying? Pam's accuracy, you know what I'm saying, is very good. Pam's Muay Thai is very good. Her kicks are good. Her footwork is good. You know what I'm saying? Her cardio is good. So, coming into this fight, there's not a whole lot. There's not really any clear-cut advantages for Arlene Blencowe, except for how Arlene Blencowe has been facing the higher caliber, and she's been more active. She's fought Chris Cyborg, you know what I'm saying? She's been in there. So, she's, formal title challenge over there. So she's been fighting higher competition, and she's been busier than Pam. She hadn't dealt with the health issues that Pam has dealt with. She hadn't dealt with the lack of opponents, the sitting around waiting on somebody to sign her. Like, no, Arlene Blencowe, she's been in there fighting. So it's kind of a different thing. No, I didn't watch it, but I heard about it, and I'm going to watch it. I am definitely going to watch that Bipolar Express. So let's move on here, guys. A few topics here that I'm going to get to. Let's go to the last featherweight fight on my list here, and that would be Leonidas Letson versus Felicia Spencer, guys. Super excited here for Leah Letson to return. A lot of people forgot about Leah Letson. A lot of people, stopped talking about Leah Letson. And of course, the underground WMMA community, we never stopped talking about Nidus Letson. Like, we never stopped talking about Leonidas. You know what I'm saying? We knew that there was going to be a time where Leah Letson would return to the cage and fight. It just was a matter of how much time she was going to need off and how much time she was going to be off. It was what it was, you know what I'm saying? And when you have suffered, when your health has suffered like that, that's a different thing that takes time to rebound. That takes time to get back to where you need to be to say, yes, I'm ready to take a fight. To say, yes, I'm ready to take a fight. That was a huge thing for Leah Letson. Now, style-wise, Felicia Spencer, I watched their media days, and Felicia, she was kind of saying like she's expecting to finish Letson, early, round one or round two. And I'm like, okay, what I'm saying? Like, I can see it because Felicia Spencer's been in there. She's lost some fights, she's won some fights. Leah Letson's been gone, dealing with other things. You know what I'm saying? But she's also had a lot of time to focus on her skill set too. Sometimes layoffs aren't as bad as how people in the media try to make them seem. Sometimes they're not quite as bad as people make them seem. And Leah has been not only getting her health better, but she's been putting in a lot of work on her skill set. You know what I'm saying? And which Leah Letson already had a pretty good skill set. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not for some people who maybe didn't even watch that featherweight season of The Ultimate Fighter or whatnot, but it still was what it was. It still is what it is. And I feel like Letson already has a solid skill set. She has a pretty decent skill set. Her striking is not to be questioned. She has good striking. I think where Leah has some things to fill in would be on the ground. She's sometimes in fights you've seen Leah get put in those squirrely situations. I'm saying that I've said it before, that she's just so happened to get out of. You know what I'm saying? She's just so happened to get out of a lot of those squirrely situations. So, let's see here. Hold on, guys. Things keep popping up on my phone, so I have to acknowledge them. It's no filter MMA stuff, by the way. So, let's see. Let's see. Okay. So, yeah, on the ground is where Felicia Spencer could really capitalize. Like, she really, 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 really could capitalize on trying to get this fight to the ground, getting Leah Letson to the ground, getting Letson to the ground, and trying to finish this fight because Leah Letson may have some ring rust going on. There may be, the time away from the octagon. It's been, almost 3 years since she's been away from the octagon. So, you can take that how you want to take that. I'm saying it could be really good, or it could be really bad. So, but I do think that Leah Letson is ready. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Felicia Spencer, on the other hand, if she chooses to have this striking battle, if she chooses to have this striking battle with, if Felicia decides to strike with Leah Letson, I think that is where Felicia Spencer is in a lot of danger. I think that's where she's in a lot of danger because Leah Letson, I think, hits harder. I think Leah Letson's footwork, she's light on her toes. She's in a lot better shape than she was back then. So I think her movement will be a lot better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I really do. I think her movement will be a lot better. It was already good. Her kicks are really good. Leah Letson throws a lot of kicks. Her volume is always up there. Her pace is high. You know what I'm saying? Like, Letson goes, she has great cardio. Her pace is great. You know what I'm saying? Like, her volume is great. The only criticism I can really see with Letson, other than, I hope that she's ever improving on her ground game. I want to see Letson sit down on some punches. Like, I want to see Letson throw with some power. You know what I'm saying? Like, back Felicia up. You know what I'm saying? You got to beat. That's really the only way to beat Felicia Spencer is with, you know what I'm saying, with takedown defense and power. You can slow Felicia Spencer down. Like, I've never seen her get knocked out or stopped. You know what I'm saying? But that's the way to slow Felicia Spencer down. You know what I'm saying? You got to stuff her takedowns, and you got to hit her with hard shots, and you'll slow Felicia Spencer down. But Letson is going to have to be ready for the early onslaught of Felicia Spencer because she's going to come after Leah Letson. Felicia's going to try to exploit that ring rust, you know what I'm saying, exploit that, try to tap the cardio of Leah Letson, hoping maybe things could happen, but it is what it is. Yeah, I was looking forward to that Angela Hill fight too, but it is what it is. Salute Marcus Bell. UFC decided not to renew Randa Marcos' contract. What? What? And they wait till she starts winning. Oh no. Not Randa Marcos. No. Not Randa Marcos. Uh, damn. I'm reading. Hold on. Damn. That is so crazy. Then again, you can't. I think they maybe could have gave her like another like gave her like a 2-fight contract. You know what I'm saying? Like give her another like 2-fight contract and let her fight again. You know what I'm saying? Because Randa looked good out there against Souza. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is though. That was a really good fight for Randa Marcos. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm glad she went out. If she went out, I'm glad she at least went out on a win. You know, I can't be mad at Randa. Unfortunately, the fight Randa won was the last fight on her contract. Yeah, I just saw that. That's crazy, man. That's crazy, crazy, crazy. But you know what I'm saying. But back to this fight. If like I said, if Felicia Spencer tries to grind this fight out, I could see her beating Leah Letson. I could. You know what I'm saying? If she makes it rough and rugged and tries to take Leah down, like that's where the danger. That's where the danger falls for Leah Letson is if this fight hits the mat. Um, Leah's gonna have to do more than power out of submission attempts and stuff. Like she needs to sprawl and get those underhooks and stop Felicia Spencer from taking her down. You know, she's just going to stop Spencer from trying to take her down. But if the fight goes on the feet, the fight stays on the feet, I got the advantage swinging in Leah Letson's direction because she's just a much more polished striker than Felicia. And I think Leah has more of the potential to sit down on some hard punches and land some hard punches than Felicia Spencer. I just don't. Like, Felicia Spencer's had a lot of fights in the UFC, and I've never really seen her hit anybody hard, but maybe like one or two times. Like, punch somebody hard. And that's only because maybe their hands were low and it was just a clean shot. But, Felicia Spencer she just don't have that. She just don't have that power, man. It sucks. It really does for fighters like Kunitskaya and fighters like Felicia Spencer who just don't have that. They don't have pop, you know what I'm saying, in their punches. I don't know if it's technique. I don't know what it is about how they strike. You know what I'm saying? Like, Felicia more so than Yana, because at least Yana lands, you know what I'm saying? Like, Kunitskaya is a volume striker that wins by volume and activity versus Felicia Spencer is a big mauling girl who just doesn't have any kind of fire in her fist, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it sucks for Felicia Spencer, because if she had that, I think Felicia Spencer would have won, or she could have won, or could have made the fights with Cyborg and Amanda Nunes more competitive. Because if you go and look in that fight with Cyborg, a lot of in betweens, Felicia Spencer landed a lot of shots in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it is what it is. Felicia Spencer landed a lot of strikes in that fight with Chris Cyborg, but she just didn't have anything really behind them. That those elbows landed. She ended a lot of elbows in that fight too. But the fist, you know what I'm saying? Like she just couldn't. continue the momentum after those big elbows. She would have had to throw another elbow. And you know, the chances of that landing again, you know what I'm saying, versus, you know, she went back to throwing punches. It just, they weren't anything that really deterred Chris Cyborg or, you know, anyone really, you know, but it is what it is. This is going to be a good fight. I'm going to go with the home slice, Leonidas Letson, for sure. Gonna go with Letson in this fight here. Cynthia Calvillo versus Jessica I. But real quick, before I get to Cynthia Calvillo versus Jessica I, you know, I want to talk about something real quick. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want to talk about something real quick. I did make a video. Yes, I did make a video. And I take fault for yeah, maybe my video was a little animated. Like, maybe I was a little animated in making that video, and I slapped my own self on the wrist for that. You know what I'm saying? But the story I was, you know, the message that I was pushing still was the same. You know what I'm saying? The message was still the same. You know, and the message is, you know, the message is that the comment that was made was that girls who fight Courtney Casey turn into, and maybe it was just the selection of how the word selection that threw me off. You know what I'm saying? The word selection threw me off when the comment was made that the girls turn into wrestlers when they fight Courtney Casey, and I'm thinking, well, some of the girls that Courtney Casey has fought has been grapplers. So, and the comment, to further the comment, it was more said like, it was also said like, you know, that the level of JoJua's grappling wouldn't be enough to compete with Courtney Casey. You know what I'm saying? That was what was said. And like I said, maybe I was a little animated in my response, but hey, it's No Filter MMA. It is what it is. Maybe I was a little animated in my response. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I was a little harsh on the response. And like I said, I apologize for that, and I slapped my own self on the wrist for being, you know, a little animated and being a little harsh in my response. But, you know, and instantly I thought of Jillian Robinson. Like, I just instantly thought, I'm like, well, Jillian Robinson didn't turn into a grappler when she fought Courtney Casey, because there was nothing that, like I said in the video, there was nothing that Courtney Casey did that forced Jillian Robinson to grapple. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what Jillian Robinson was going to do anyway when she went in there. That's why I made the comment that Jillian Robinson did what she wanted to do in that fight. There was nothing that Courtney Casey did. Now, there are some fighters. There are some fighters who do force fighters to turn into wrestlers, like Ariane Lipsky. I've seen Lipsky force two people to wrestle, and that was Molly McCann and Antonina Shevchenko. You know what I'm saying? There are fighters who have something that makes these girls say, oh no, I'm not fucking with that. Like, I'm taking you down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not fucking with that. I'm taking you down. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to Courtney Casey, she is not one of those girls. Like, Courtney Casey, to me, is not one of those girls who force people to grapple. She's faced some good grapple. Like, she's faced girls like Robinson, and she's about to face Liana JoJuA. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I get, you know, and I get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get that there are some fighters out there that do force it out of people, but it just wasn't, it's not really that true when it comes to Courtney Casey. And I think, you know, because I feel like that statement was like a true diss to Robertson and JoJuA. Like, I think that's kind of why I took it personally, because I feel like it was like a huge diss to them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Courtney Casey is this stud who forced these people to panic wrestle with her, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Like, because her striking was that good, you know what I'm saying? that's just not really the case. You know, I mean, it's just not really the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, let me pull up Courtney Casey's record here. Like, I mean, let's look at Courtney Casey's record. Like, I'm trying to see who Courtney Casey has forced to grapple. I mean, because Courtney Casey's record ain't that hot in the UFC. Like, there's really not much reason to put your chips on Courtney Casey, really, in any fight. Let's see. Let's go back here. Yeah, I mean, she's spotty. Like, who has she turned into grappler? So she fought. Let's see. She fought Joanne Calderwood. She lost. Zoe Ham. She lost. Christina Stanciu. She won that fight. I mean, who is that? Ground and pound. Randa Marcos, she beat. She lost to Claudia Gadelia. So, out of notable fighters, we've got one wrestler. That's Randa Marcos. Jessica Aguilar, she beat Jessica Aguilar. And then she lost to Felice Herrig. She lost to Michelle Watterson. She beat Angela Hill, who's not a wrestler in that fight. Really didn't take place on the ground like that. I mean, it didn't take place on the ground like that. She lost to Cynthia Calvillo, who she wasn't going to beat on the ground anyways. She beat Mara Romero Barella. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, maybe you can say she forced the grappler out of Mara Romero Barella. And then she lost to Jillian Robertson. You know what I'm saying? Then she lost to JJ Aldridge. So I'm just trying to see who did she. I can say, okay, she forced Mara Romero Barella to grapple with her. You know what I'm saying? And Angela Hill, she forced Angela Hill to grapple. I mean, but no, that wasn't the case. Like, the only bona fide grappler she's fought has been Cynthia Calvillo, who she lost to, and Randa Marcos, who she beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, she beat Randa Marcos, and she lost to Cynthia Calvillo. So when she got to Jillian Robertson, there was no forcing Jillian Robertson to grapple with her. Like, that Jillian Robertson didn't all of a sudden decide that she was going to turn into, a grappler and beat her. That was her game plan from the get-go. That's her game. What she did to Courtney Casey is what Jillian Robertson tries to do to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what Robertson does that's what Jillian Robertson does to everybody, what she did to Courtney Casey. So there was nothing about what Courtney Casey did to Jillian Robertson that forced her, because on the feet, Jillian Robertson was getting the better of the exchanges with Courtney Casey on the feet. So, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out. I mean, like I said, maybe I was a little too animated in my response. Maybe I was a little too harsh in my response. But, for me, it's about, being factual. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to stick by what I said. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, it's about being factual. You know what I'm saying? And coming up in this fight with LIANA JOJUA, you know what I'm saying, who's known for that. You know what I'm saying? I think that LIANA, and yes, there's bucket loads of experience that Courtney Casey has over LIANA JOJUA. But, you know what I'm saying, I think that with as easy as Jillian Robertson made it look, you know what I'm saying, Jillian Robertson made it look easy. And for somebody to have so much experience as Courtney Casey, I mean, what is her record like? How many fights? It's gone 9-9-0. For somebody to have that much experience as Courtney Casey, 18 fights, you know what I'm saying, and you get dominated the way Jillian Robertson dominated you, you get dominated like that. You get dominated like that, and then people start to say you're forcing, you're turning people into grapplers. Like, no. When you use the term you turning somebody into something, you know what I'm saying, that doesn't mean that you suck. That means that you're actually really good. You know what I'm saying? And Courtney Casey ain't no world beat out here. So, like I said, I apologize for being a little harsh and being a little animated in what I said, but what I said I don't apologize for, because You know what I'm saying? The message I was trying to convey, I don't apologize for that message. You know what I'm saying? Not at all, because that's just, that's how false narratives begin. And if there's one thing I hate more than anything, that's a false narrative. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't feel like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I get called out on shit that people say that I'm wrong about. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Not trying to call anybody out, but I'm gonna acknowledge that that's not true. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not true what you're saying. And let's look at how many fights LIANA JOJUA has. Let's look at her record. Let's look at her amount of fights. Then we'll look at Jillian Robinson's as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? These girls are all on the same level here. 8-4-0. Okay? JOJUA 8-4-0. So let's go back here. Jillian. So they've all had double digit fights. 18 fights for Casey, 12 fights for JOJUA. Let's look at Jillian Robinson's record. 9-7. What is Jillian? 9-6-0. You know what I'm saying? That's how many fights for Jillian Robinson? 15. You know what I'm saying? 15 fights for Jillian Robinson. So these ain't girls who, you know what I'm saying? These ain't girls who are not on the same level. No matter how long they've been in the UFC, like these are not girls that are not on the same level. These girls have similar experience. Courtney Casey has the most, but look at how Jillian Robinson dominated Courtney Casey in that fight. Did Courtney Casey look like somebody who has 18 fights in that fight with Jillian Robinson? Did she? I mean, really? Like, let's be real here. Like, did she look like somebody who had more experience than Jillian Robinson? And with that being said, that is why I said I don't see that. That is why my pick is LIANA JOJUA. My pick is JOJUA because I feel like Courtney Casey doesn't fight to her potential versus somebody is hungry. There's no kill switch when it comes to Courtney Casey. There's no kill switch. Courtney Casey ain't finishing these girls like that. She ain't looking for that finish like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, LIANA JOJUA, kill switch. I guess I gotta put that kill switch. I ain't been using the term kill switch enough out here lately. You know what I'm saying? I ain't been using that term a lot. As much as I should have, as much as I should have, because it seems like I have to start back using that term kill switch. Some people have a kill switch, and some people don't have it. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to this fight game, some people have the kill switch, and some people don't. Do we really think that Courtney Casey has that kill switch? Ask yourself that question. Does Courtney Casey have a kill switch? And give yourself 30 seconds to think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like ask yourself that question. And then you got JOJUA, a hungry finisher who exemplifies a lot of the same characteristics on the ground as people like Jillian Robertson. You know what I'm saying? As those high-level grapplers like Cynthia Calvillo, people who show that same level of skill on the ground, you know what I'm saying? That fight with Jillian Robinson foreshadows me similar to how the fight with LIANA JOJUA can go. You know what I'm saying? The fight with Jillian Robinson shows me the potential, the possibility of the type of fight that LIANA JOJUA can bring to Courtney Casey. That's why it just threw me off so bad when those comments were made, because I'm like, no, Courtney Casey don't have a ground game like that. Yeah, Courtney Casey has some slick arm bars on her record. You know what I'm saying? Like she's got some arm bars on her record. But so does Megan Anderson. Megan Anderson has submissions on her record too. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to girls who can really grapple, it's like Katlyn Chookagian. That's a good example. Yeah, Katlyn Chookagian can grapple, but she can't grapple against girls who can really grapple. You know what I'm saying? Like, her jiu-jitsu is good, but it's not good against girls whose jiu-jitsu is really good. You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of thing here. Yeah, Courtney Casey can pull off some slick arm bars if she gets into certain positions, but you're talking about girls who can pull off submissions from damn near everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about girls like Robertson. It was almost a given that Jillian Robertson would do that to Courtney Casey. It was almost a given that she would do that to Courtney Casey. And so with JoJua, it's kind of like the same thing. Yeah, now JoJua, she's more of a brawler than Jillian Robertson. You know what I'm saying? JoJua will fight you on the feet if she wants to. But if JoJua takes you to the ground, is where I just don't feel like, and then I've seen comments of people saying that LIANA JoJua was so bad. People like, she's so horrible, like, and I'm just thinking like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. It's crazy. Crazy. You know what I'm saying? People were saying she was horrible, and I'm just like, wow. Yeah, maybe I'm a little biased, but take biasness out of it. Just what got me liking JoJua is the performances that I seen from her. You know what I'm saying? Diana Belbita tried to blitz JoJua, and JoJua took her down, and the fight was over within seconds. You know what I'm saying? And then we go out in the fight with Miranda Maverick, and we see a whole different LIANA JoJua. We see a JoJua landing good punches on Miranda Maverick. We see JoJua display the pop in her shots a little bit more. We saw Brian Williams, you crazy. You seen JoJua, you know what I'm saying, show that, hey, I can strike too. And then bam, this elbow comes. Miranda Maverick just gets smart and capitalizes on the lack of defense with the LIANA JoJua. Look, JoJua was thinking so much offense, you know what I'm saying, she forgot about her defense. And in comes this step-in elbow from Miranda Maverick. And it was a mistake, but it cost JoJua. That was a costly mistake for LIANA JoJua. That was a costly mistake. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? She lost that fight. Doctor stoppage. Chuck it up. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? And in the fight with Sarah Morris, JoJua, who is clearly a flyweight, was in there with a Morris who was, you know what I'm saying, 140 plus pounds. She missed weight. And then, you know what I'm saying, like, she didn't have a stipulation. I remember this. I'm like, because I wasn't even really watching JoJua like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I seen that was her debut. You know what I'm saying? And there was no weight. Like, they didn't make Cheesecake like say, well, you can only weigh this much on fight night. They didn't do that. So who knew how much she weighed? She just pretty much just laid all over JoJua, smothered and covered her up. You know what I'm saying? Like, people taking that loss to Sarah Morris, you know, so people dangling that in front of JoJua's face. Come on, man, that was a mismatch. That's a mismatch. That's a mismatch in the sense of Tabitha Ricci, Manon Fiorito. That's that type of mismatch. You know what I'm saying? When you got somebody that big, you know what I'm saying, and that strong as Sarah Morris, you know, on a girl as small as LIANA JoJua, it's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of wild. With 0 bets. Oh, okay. Yeah, I like to see Randa go to Bellator. I'm not mad if Randa goes to Bellator. JoJua versus K. Yeah, it's a coin flip. It's definitely a coin flip. You know, it depends on what JoJua decides to do. If JoJua goes out here and chases the takedown, and you know what I'm saying, she wins this fight. If she goes out here and she is down, and she's grappling JoJua, she wins this fight hands down. You know what I'm saying? Because Jillian Robinson pitched but even if she wanted to strike, what am I saying here? What am I saying? Even if she wanted to strike with her, Jillian Robinson did. Let's get this through your heads, y'all. Let's say this one more time. Jillian Robinson outstruck Courtney Casey on the feet. Can we get that through your head? Brian Williams said, yeah, in general, there's something about Casey that makes me a fan. I get excited when she's on the card. It's not her nose. I can't. I love JoJo's nose. I do. Some people are made to have a big nose. Some people are. It's the formula of her face, man. It's part of the formula of her face. And Courtney Casey's an exciting fighter, but guys, Jillian Robertson outstruck Courtney Casey on the feet. I mean, that's just. Let me look up the stats on that fight, man. Like, let me just look up the stats on that fight. Let me see if it shows. Let me see. We go to the Courtney Casey fight. Courtney Casey. I need to see the stats on that fight. Where do I go to find that? I know where to go to find that. I mean, it just is what it is. Let's see. Let's see if this shows me. I mean, I'm just being real, man. I'm just being so real here. You know, it just is what it is. Like, Jillian Robertson went out there and beat Courtney Casey on the feet and on the damn ground. Like, I mean, she did